welcome everyone to another edition of WNBL Division 1 live here at Commentator. We have Ipswich Basketball v Bristol Flyers. My name is Adam Robinson, filling in for another guest commentary spot alongside Coach Kev Manning. Today we're going to be doing our best to kind of call the live action. We've done as much preparation as we can in the short period of time, keeping you up to date with the score and the play-by-play action. And Kev, should be an exciting game coming after a big win for Ipswich Basketball yesterday.
It's great to be back on this floor. Less than 24 hours ago, Ipswich had arguably their biggest win of the season. Wasn't really expected. I think we've seen Cola a lot over the last week, and to come out with their donut yesterday was a fantastic result for the girls.
Bristol Flyers also coming off the back of a double header. They played away yesterday at Angular Ruskin, falling by 6 points. I believe it was 67-61. So they'll be looking to battle back after coming off a loss. They won't want to come away from a weekend away from Bristol with two losses. So they'll be looking to pick up that W. And yeah, I mean, do you know much of this, the away team here today?
This is the first time I've seen this team live, Coach, so I'm looking forward to it. I know they've done a bit of an East of England road trip over this weekend, so yeah, I think they'll have to take something back to the West Country from their trip out.
With regards to Ipswich Basketball, like we said, a big win against the league leaders, Southwark Pride yesterday, Cola. Will the game plan change? I presume a big lot of the week's prep would have been for that Saturday game. What will be the different approach, or is it just kind of carry on as usual? What do you think Coach Drain has been telling his team coming off such a big high?
Southwark brings some challenges. There's some huge inside strength, and I know there'd have been a lot of preparation about how we can keep the ball out of the paint and sort of nullify that extra power that Cola have. I don't know. I think this feels like a game that we should see quite an open game. We should see a fast-flowing game. Let's keep our fingers crossed for 40 good minutes.
Alright, the officials ready to get us underway. WNBL Division 1 action here at Coppelston Centre, Ipswich v Bristol Flyers. And Bristol come away with a scrappy tip. We'll get the starters with you as soon as our live stats are up and running. Bristol starting off fast on the boards. Again, a scrappy opening. Two offensive boards.
Interesting, they went straight to the corner triple, and it looks like they're making shapes to get back there again. It seems like to keep an eye on that. Two offensive phases, two long-range attempts.
There's a triple there from Amadi, number 6. Deep.
Both teams looking to score from downtown early on.
Fantastic. Got the live stats with you. So, starting for Ipswich today, Familiar starting 5. Number 5, Belen Bay. Number 6, Forster. 7, Goodser. Captain Taylor Willis, the captain. Number 15. Number 21, Ava Feet. Bristol Academy Flyers. Number 5, Bailey. Number 6, Amadi. Number 7, Siliana. Number 8, Jetson, and number 11, Fiona Fox.
So Bristol just hold it since their shot violation. Ipswich couldn't find anything big. Ipswich need to really come home with something from this trip. Another long-range effort.
So we start the game off 5-zip to Bristol. Triple and a midi. From the foul line, taking it to 5-0. And they have started on fire from the outside, putting pressure on this Ipswich zone that we've become used to seeing this season, which was proven so successful yesterday. But Bristol seems some early joy. Foul on the floor, I believe. Foul committed there by number 7.
Does look like Bristol arrived here with a plan, exploiting the corners.
Awianya. I must apologise if I pronounce anybody's name wrong. I should have done more prep. Another foul on the 42, quick early fouls from Bristol, which put them under pressure. Seemed a little bit eager there.
It'd be interesting to see how both teams deal with the fact they both had competitive games yesterday and they're coming back in less than 24 hours for another trip out.
And able to secure the board there, Ipswich, and Bristol come again on the offensive side.
Good cut out there from Forster. They just need to get some confidence at the defensive end, just been able to find a way to stop Bristol making chances.
Yeah, fast start here from Bristol. And another foul on the floor, I believe that on 15, Taylor Willis. I tell you what, if Bristol are able to get another conversion here, then all of a sudden we're looking at a double-figure lead, which is the perfect start for Bristol against this Ipswich team.
Only a little over 2 minutes gone in the game.
Looked a lot of contact, but no foul given. Ipswich come away with the boards and on the fast break. Hits the trailer, Taylor Willis. And off there, but Serena Goodser with the offensive boards. And one. So, first score for the home side. Serena Goodser will go to the line. And importantly, like I said, 2 minutes gone. That is 3 team fouls for Bristol as well, something to keep an eye on as we go through this quarter. Bristol lead this one 8-3. And the guards and it's incredibly active. Coach Drain trying to get a point across, but I believe that there was 8 seconds across the clock, and
seems to have the need for a conversation on this. Seems to have 80 seconds in the back court, Bristol. As supported by the shot clock.
It's an animated start. Again, scrappy start. Bristol shooting well from the outside. Ipswich started about back, putting on that press and seemed to generate a turnover, but the referee seems otherwise, and we have an early timeout to settle the excitement on the court.
And on the sideline.
And on the sideline, which
well, this is a good time to just talk about the relative performance of these two teams.
Yes.
So, in terms of the calendar year, Bristol record doesn't hold up to Ipswich in terms of their performance. They played 5 times this year and only come away with 2 W's out of those 5. Where Ipswich played 4 games this year and they were 3-1 out of that 4. So you'd like to think momentum is going to be supporting Ipswich a little bit today.
discussion still going on the sideline here with Coach Drain and the officials.
I guess it would be good to know if the shot clocks are being watched.
Yes.
Maybe the timeout didn't work.
When they look at the ball, they've got 8 seconds to cross the halfway. That says that is a joke. That is fact. Don't tell me I'm wrong for reacting to you getting it wrong.
I don't know how well the speaker picks up the sound on there. When the argument's put like that, it feels like the coaching staff from Ipswich bench may have a point.
But we've all had a good conversation about the purposes of shot clocks and what they're there to do.
Still having a discussion.
And it crosses the halfway line now.
Here's like the coaching official, coaching staff from the Ipswich bench have got their way. At least, so now Bristol coach wanting his say. Apologies, folks.
This would have been a great time for us to have done more prep, and we could have filled this dead air with some more conversation.
Yes. I think we've just both been drawn in, though, by the conversation between the officials and the coaching staff.
I think so.
So
I do have the season stats. I know Bristol are coming in with a 5-10.
Ipswich ball regardless. Ipswich down 3-8. 12 seconds on the shot clock, and a foul on the floor on number 11.
Well, we both know, though, coaches, that things that happen on court like this can really either disrupt or they can galvanise a team. In terms of, it'll be interesting to see how both sides react from that short break.
So, foul on number 11 of Fiona Fox. Ipswich have fresh 14, early shot from Commentator Willis, outside, no good, and Bristol will retrieve the ball after a stoppage. Fox now retreating to the bench, and number 32, Annette Cook, enters the game for the first time. Ipswich coming up in a full court press, causing trouble. Cameron Taylor-Willis with the steal. Now number 21, Ava Batiste, missing on that three. Bristol secures the ball, and now we come with some stoppages underway. We're back to playing basketball. Open shot from the outside, and Bristol's hot form from the perimeter continues. 11-3. Emma Bailey with the three that time. Olivia Forster making her way to the basket. Another foul, this time a shooting foul. Basket no good, and I believe with 4 minutes gone on the clock, that is team fouls already for Bristol. So Ipswich may want to look to capitalise this and be aggressive and get to the rim.
So game clock only saying 6:20 left in this quarter. Obviously the officials' discussions took a lot of time out of this quarter.
Forster draining that. We had some more substitutions, I believe, on the Bristol side. Number 4, Flo Ward, coming into the game for the first time. This press from Ipswich is causing havoc. And another steal, fantastic. I think we now have the score correct.
How many seconds?
Another rotation. And another rotation here. And I need to have done a little bit more prep here, Kev, I'm afraid. I'm looking through my live stats, trying to get my bearings with who's on the court. All I do know is that Ipswich are on 7 points, Bristol are on 11. And they've missed that 3, and they are trying to secure the offensive board, but Ipswich come away with it, pushing the pace down the floor with Forster. Turning the ball over there, great hands from number 9. Maisel Betty. Bristol, another score. Lead the game 13-7 in the first quarter. Ipswich, they're putting their own press on now, causing their own havoc, and a foul.
Prep or no prep, coach? It feels that this game is pretty hectic.
Absolutely, Layla Jepson there with the steal, the drive to the basket, fouled on the shot. And Ipswich will make their own rotations in. Hannah Gray and Christabel was
We know her as Christabel.
really bad because I coached her during the week.
Chris had a strong game yesterday.
She was great for the academy during the week as well. She's made a great strides to the good start of her Ipswich career. Draining the free throw there. 14 to 7 to Bristol. And drain that three off Wonder. You do not want to leave free from the outside. She can get hot. And another foul on the floor there. Okay. So
both teams throwing everything at each other physically, which is, I think is going to mean those orange cones of the far side of the court are going to be up and down all day.
absolutely, it's been an incredibly fast start. There's been a lot of stop-starts to this game. You know, when the ball has been in play, fast pace. Ipswich have brought it back within 4 now, 10 to 14. Bristol no good there. But another steal from Jetson, and late call there from the ref.
A lot of phases of basketball squeezed into a few seconds there.
So we had a miss mid-range.
Well, I think Yas got hands on that. Bellenboy with the block, and then foul on the follow-up.
So Jetson will go to the line. And I believe that's 10 points for her in the game already. So incredibly fast start here for Lady Jepson. And draining both free throws that time. Bristol lead this one 16 to 10.
And we're only just halfway through the first quarter.
Oh man, catching my bearings, unable to pronounce people's names, listening to the coaches berate the referees. It's had it all in the first 5 minutes here at Coppelson Centre.
Never a dull moment at HQ. Look good. In blue hands now. Let's push.
Young Hannah Gray into the game for the first time. They've forced her wide open for three and no good that time. Bristol come away.
Not having a huge reward from those long-range shots. Red. Okay. Bristol seem to be working the balls better at both ends.
Having a rotation again. The high-scoring Jepson out of the game. I think she leads all scorers at the moment with 11 points.
Yeah.
Tough shot there. Gets another chance there at the elbow. This time takes off the dribble and punishes Bristol and the basket.
Oswaldo checks in.
Good hands there. Fast-paced game this.
Absolutely no rest for anything. Batiste picked the pocket one. Nothing from that.
Thrown away from Bristol. This press is causing havoc. With another 2 points, and we might be able to catch your breath for a moment. The score here at Coppelson Centre: Ipswich Basketball 14, Bristol Flyers 16. I mean, where do we start, Kev?
I'm going to lie down.
I mean, the press, both teams now up in the press, playing full court. Yes, there was a bit of a stop-start with some discussions with the referee, and even though there's been a few fouls, I mean, it's been end-to-end stuff.
With 6.5 minutes of this gone, and there's been times when 40 minutes hasn't put up this much action, so it's an exciting first quarter. The Flyers went out at quite a pace, with I think 3 or 4 trips with no answer from Ipswich. The teams then had that little timeout and the referees did their homework, and then since then the press has been an active part of the game, and it seems to be making it untidy and disrupting both teams.
Both teams been active from the 3-point line, though Ipswich are 1 of 7, whereas Bristol have shot 3 from 6. Again, the press seems to have made it a little bit easier for some of those players to get to the basket, but both teams obviously are going to look to, if this pace continues, they're going to obviously, both teams want to shoot from the outside as well, and I presume as the game goes on, that will be a key factor.
Leading all scorers, you've got Jepson from the Flyers, and who's particularly dangerous from outside. Hopefully the scout told Richard about that, and if they didn't have it before, they sure will know it now.
Averaging 8 points for the season. Come out of a timeout and not necessarily following instructions straight away. Coach making it known to his team. We go from the corner here with Bristol as well, short on that three.
Crossover with the rebound.
Number 10, Hannah Wallace. That's a second three, Ava Fitz there. 6 points, nice 6 points.
To take the lead for the first time today.
17 to 16.
Immediate response. Again, blue offensive rebound.
Flo Ward off with that mid-range jumper. And aggressive there. I believe Hannah Gray will be going to the line now. Those early fouls coming back to bite Bristol. So that's May Zilbetti. A little bit aggressive there. Maybe over-eager, but again, easy to see why when this game has been that fast-paced. I would think that maybe they would have slowed it down coming out of those timeouts, but certainly not. Hannah Gray missing her first free throw. British basketball with a 1 point lead at the moment, 17 to 16. Makes her second. 18 to 16 here. Breaking the press a little bit easier this time. Bristol switching off, and a foul given away there from Yasin Bellenbay.
Let's look for the panel.
And Veronica Owenya will head to the free throw line.
And then Kenzie checks in just to give Yas a breather. Yasin Bellenbay now 2 personal fouls. Both teams have their cones standing now. Looks like Bristol are about to change personnel.
Uses the glass. And then we'll check out. 17 to 18. Ipswich lead. So with Ipswich's 2 starting forwards, Commentator, Willett and Yasin Bellenbay on the bench with 2 fouls. Coach Strain going to a little bit less familiar lineup than normal.
Okay, that ball in cut out.
And there's another 3 there. That takes Bristol's lead, 20 points scored. It's a fast-paced game, high-scoring game so far in that press from both teams causing havoc. And it's another foul as Zilbetti takes it towards the basket there. She'll be shooting 2 more. And
both teams now have to consider the foul count for the remaining quarters.
Minute 42 left in this quarter. Bristol have restored their lead, a 4-point lead, 22 to 18. And they have located the shooter there. Sitting back in this zone. Ooh. Deflected off one of the players' faces there, it appeared. And it will come up as Ipswich's ball.
From that phase, I think Ipswich inbounding from base.
Out to safety to Gray. They're not giving her much light of room to shoot there, but Forster takes one from the outside. Unable to capitalise this time. Bristol with a 4-point lead. Ipswich back in this press. 1 minute 21 left in this energetic first quarter. Bristol just about managing that press.
Just got the better of the shot, but then Ipswich come away.
Short on that mid-range jumper there.
To the teeth.
Nice handles from Gray, unable to make the thing. Gibbons comes away with the defensive rebound, and now Bristol look to push the ball.
Missed opportunity as the trailer came through the paint there.
Slowing it down now to evade the action, using the hyper and a Wallace there with the pop inside from Mr. Gibbons. Great ball movement here from Bristol. Flow from the outside, short on that three. Hannah Gray with the
defensive rebound. Bring out the back court. No shot clock left. Last few seconds.
Bristol still holding a 4-point lead. It's going to try and hold for the final shot of the first quarter. Decides to reject the screen. Pulls up from just outside there with Liv Forster. Bristol come away with the ball. And we have a moment to catch up, ref Cliff. Wow, what a quarter.
I'm not so sure either team thought maybe this was the game they were going to have after both having tough contests yesterday.
So, Ipswich trail the visitors here, the Bristol Flyers, to 18-22. Standout performers from the first quarter. We have Layla Jepson leading all scorers with 11 points. On the Bristol, we have a Christabel down there with 8 points. Not sure about that personally, but either way, on the score, on the live stats, that is. So leading Ipswich, Christabel Ozarobo there with 8 points. Coach, what are your thoughts? I mean, again, it was a fast-paced, frenetic. It seemed like, even though with all the stoppages, it didn't really deter either team from playing high up in that press, looking for steals, getting out aggressively, shot well from the outside, getting to the free throw line. It's a bit of everything.
I said before, we've had 40 minutes to squeeze into 10. I'm hoping that maybe they've got that first quarter out of their system now, and there's more controlled basketball to have. There's more controlled possession for both teams that are struggling to the full court game. That both teams are turning on. I noticed they both went to sort of zone sets defensively, which may indicate that they're allowing a half-court game to maybe emerge. But all in all, I'll have another 10 minutes of that, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
If maybe perhaps with a slightly different scoring outcome.
Yes. So, we're looking over there now with the players that seem to be sitting on Coach Drains' bench. He's bringing Cameron Taylor-Willis and Yasin Bellambay back into the game, both on 2 personal fouls. Going to have to manage that. I mean, they've been a incredibly important part of this, I would say, Coach Drains' relatively short rotation, and played heavy minutes yesterday in that very important league win against Colours. They're going to be 2 players that he's going to need on the floor for extensive periods of this game.
Ipswich got 3 of their starters on 2 fouls, 1 quarter. And even though the Bristol Flyers got into foul trouble early, they didn't seem to leak any more in the second half of that quarter. So they've only got 2 of their starters to show the team.
So Bristol up here unchanged from the 5 that ended the first quarter.
Ipswich introduced Alice Fallon into the front court there,
with Serena Goodsir, Cameron Taylor-Willis and Yasin Bellambay also back into the fray, and they look like they're sitting back in that zone.
You would think they'll be under instruction to hold on to those fouls and don't put pressure on Coach Drains' decision making early in this quarter.
Bristol moving the ball well again, as they did. Coming to the high post there, Louisa Gibbons, and we shoot from the outside, and a little bit strong there. But they gain an offensive board and another opportunity. Attacking things well there, Hannah Wallace, but unable to make that count.
Just one hand on that, not 2. Bristol looked to be trying to work off some dribble penetration for that first offensive possession. Working through the corners.
And there it is. Another three. 25 to 18. That's Wallace there from the corner. Great ball movement from the outside there. And this press is just causing some trouble here for Ipswich. And it's another score and another steal. Torbay with her 6th or 7th points of the game. Taylor Willis putting some pressure on the defence there, unable to find her way through. Alice Fallon from the outside lets it fly, and herself drains a triple.
Hello to Alice. Alice is here.
21-27. Bristol lead. And if there was any doubt that this quarter will be any slower pace than the last quarter, Kev, I think our answer is there from the outside. No good this time, but an offensive board. And a foul. Going for the loose ball and a foul.
That'll be good to third personal foul.
Am I right in thinking that a technical foul was called there?
I thought I heard that. I think there's... apparently so.
Might use that 28 to 21. Ipswich are going to have to keep their heads here.
Yeah.
We'll get confirmation on who that was on. May have been on Goodser. If that was, that could be a personal foul and her technical, which would make it a 4 for the game. Might be sitting for quite a while now. But the score, 21-28 Bristol. Keith lets it fly and a little bit too strong this time. Number 4, Flo Ward coming away with the ball.
I think we've just about understood Batista's game now. She's open, it's going, it's flying.
In and out that time.
Ben Bailey with the defensive rebound for Ipswich again. Cameron Taylor Willis bringing it over the half. Taken on Gibbons.
The Bristol bench, energetic. They're certainly on top of this game at the moment as we head into first third of this second quarter.
There's 2 offensive possessions there for Ipswich.
Gomez has just powered her way to the basket there. Nice spin move, finishing under there, extending Bristol's lead to 9. Alice Fallon with the transition 3. Left wide open, but didn't hit against again. Her teammates any opportunity to get up there with her, there's a miss. Bristol come away with the defensive board, on the attack again, looking to extend their lead.
Betty running the route for the shots.
I'll tell you what, that is a tough finish. 11-point game here now. Bristol really on. Louisa Gibbons with the block, and Bristol come away again. They've really started taking control of this second quarter.
We're now looking at a double-digit deficit for Ipswich.
How about that finish there for Ipswich? 1 in. Tough.
And she's not stopping.
Oh, in and out again. Ipswich looking to stop the bleeding here a little bit. We let fly, and there it is. It's one way of getting yourself back into this game. Giving the ball to Ava and just letting her shoot.
Coach, you don't need to listen to us. Can we just watch this for a little?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, big switch around in personnel for Bristol.
Emma Bailey, Layla Jepson, and Sarah Burkett all coming into the game.
Well, that's 11 of the Flyers roster now having some time in this game, and we're only 4 minutes into the second quarter.
Gomez with a great offensive board there, and I think Yasin picked up her third foul.
That's going to start taking options away for a coach. Essendon had a huge day yesterday.
(33-24) to Bristol, as Gomez is here for the second of the 2 free throws. Misses the second, so just one rebound, 2 for the charity stripe. Great defence there from Bailey. Good ball movement, and Fallon lets it fly again. And the friendly roll!
The pinball shot there from Alice.
Down to a 6-point game. It's 27. 33. That's got this. If it's expensive, got louder.
Kick out for the perimeter shots. Doesn't go. Good offensive rebound there from Gibbons.
I'm not quite sure about that call there, but double dribble on Bristol. So it's a turnover for Bristol. Fallon is just lets it fly, and all of a sudden, from down 11, we're down 3. Blink, can you make this?
Live Stats does not stand a chance of keeping up with this. Again, I'm not quite sure about that off the ball action there.
I mean, it did look like there wasn't a lot of contest for the layup there. And
it seems that we were clearing a lane.
So no bucket?
No, the number 15. I don't think we could say there was boxing out there. They were sort of clearing out the lane.
I've got to be there. I do think that, yeah. No foul, basket, good is the call, which I thought was the original call. So Bristol lead by 5 here, 35-30. A little bit of confusion underneath the basket. I think there's a bit of tussle.
I'm not comfortable with that call.
I suppose it depends whether the foul happened after the bucket. And certainly Jepson drive to the basket wasn't interfered by anyone. You know, haven't seen a lane as wide open as that. Another block by Gibbons. I think that's a second block here.
I want to be putting any passing traffic close to Gibbons. He's blessed with some long arms there. And with the offensive rebound. Kick to the perimeter.
That's a big shot. It's a big shot and extend their lead back to 8.
Just takes the pressure back off.
He's long with the boards there, and bodies flying all over the court. Bristol come away with it. And they've just let the same player open on the corner. Offensive board. Gibbons is all over the place. Blocks, boards. Very impressed with the young player here from Bristol. Short on that 3. And Coach Drain doesn't like what he's seeing. He's called a timeout, and well, just a production team here, having worked with the camera. For those that can hear us and can kind of hear us over the mumbling and over the noises from behind, Ipswich 30 points. The home team are down by 8. Bristol with 38 points. They've so extended their run to 11. Ipswich battled back with a couple of threes from Alice Fallon. Then in the last minute or two, Bristol have extended that lead again by controlling the boards. A couple of vital blocks there from Louisa Gibbons on the defensive side.
Just picking up those second chances and just keeping that Flyers offence available. Since Alice checked in, she's now leading Ipswich scorers. She's put 9 points down.
Some great shooting from the outside there, but a couple of offensive boards. So Bristol getting a number of opportunities to score, and you keep giving which appears to be a very good shooting team like this, opportunities. They will make you punish.
They want to play, and they're not afraid to put those shots up. As are Ipswich, who have dug themselves out of a bit of an empty 3-point run on the back of Alice and Ava Batiste. Ipswich scorers being led by Alice with 9 points. Christabel Osarobo following up with 8, supported by Olivia Forster with 6 points. So Bristol Flyers 13 points now for their number 8 Jets. 10 from their number 9.
Offensive board from Fallon. We move the ball around the perimeter. Forster relocating and very short on that 3-point shot there.
Nothing but air on that one.
Taking the press off now, Ipswich, trying to get a bit of that. They're going to be looking for some defensive stops because the momentum is all Bristol at the moment.
That was in Ipswich's hands. You've got to look after the ball.
Jackson stepping out of bounds there on the far side, it appears, so a turnover there for Bristol.
Okay, both sides taking a breather from the press.
Nothing at all there. Looking for the foul was Taylor Willis, not given. Both teams have turned the ball over 9 times. So again, there's parts of this game which appears incredibly even, but Bristol's looking far better from the outside as a team. And Gomez has done fantastic since coming into the game.
Not afraid to take on the Ipswich defence one at a time down there.
Another 2 points. Extends the lead to 10. And Cameron Taylor-Willis almost throws it away. And a little bit of an over-eagerness there from Bristol.
Just forcing Ipswich into some lower percentage passing, putting the pass receiver under pressure.
Sarah Burkett there with their first foul. In and out there from Batiste. Bristol. Using the glass there, it's a fortunate one, but when they're dropping, and it's a 13-point game now for Bristol, 43-30.
That's their biggest lead of the game now.
And right back to 10 points now. Another 3 there for Ava. Third of the game.
Linestats only the second. That's 7 attempts now.
That's a big shot. Talk about a gutsy shot there.
What a dagger. Shot clock running down.
Takes Jepson's overall score to 16 points in the half. Lobo with a great offensive board and a foul there, I believe, from Gomez on the inside.
I hope the people at home realise how difficult it is to talk to this microphone and not look at what's going on this court right now. Again, more of that frantic phase of play. So 15 checking out for Flyers.
So I believe that takes Layla Jepson up to 16 points for the game. It's now on 34. Following that,
Just over a minute left in the second quarter.
doesn't make use of the second, so it's a 12-point game here at Commentator Centre. Bristol Fires leading Bristol Basketball 46-34. Just over a minute left in this second quarter, and Jepson hits another.
Bristol, over the course of the season, are running at about 56 points per game on their offense.
I believe that was a mid-range. It's a 2, 48-34. Commentator will for 3. Needed that really to stop the run, and if Bristol have another score here to end the half.
But at this scoring tempo, they'll have their season average for 40 minutes made up in 20.
A little bit strong there from Burkett.
Wasn't going to trouble the steal there.
Hey, but when the team is shooting the ball as well, can you blame them for letting it fly? It's been a great equaliser in this game. Nothing there from Hannah Gray. 4th shot and a foul on Jepson, and this is all Bristol at the moment. 48-34. Burkett signing out for Ward with
Seconds left in the quarter.
13 seconds left in the quarter. Looking for the last shot.
Okay, we have 1 second and change left.
So, coach calling a timeout. Trying to get one last score to try and bring this overall score down a little bit going into half time.
This is damage limitation now. If we can get this back to 12, 11 points, we've been that far down before and brought it back. My concern is relentless scoring from down deep from Bristol. I'm looking forward to getting to half time and actually looking at those stats.
Absolutely. I mean, if just kind of having a quick browse over now, they've 11 offensive boards. That would be my first thing, is kind of thinking like, have they had second chance opportunities? Because from the eye, it would appear yes. The stats seem to suggest so as well, and they've made Ipswich pay. Second, third opportunities. Particularly if Ipswich are going to sit in that zone, they've got to be competitive on the boards to stop the bleeding, but you can't take anything. It's been all Bristol, particularly this second quarter.
Both teams not afraid to let it fly from outside.
No.
22 first half 3-point attempts from the Flyers. And if you think that's eye-watering, 23 in response from Ipswich.
What about the shooting from Layla Jepson? 16 points.
As I was saying before, Bristol only used to, on average, putting in 55, 56 points per game across the season so far. So I'm pretty sure this is a reflection of a hot streak from their shooting and not necessarily a poor defensive performance necessarily from Ipswich. Let's see what the whiteboard cooked up for us.
They located the shooter. They were not letting her away. Done their scouting report there, and Bristol, well, certainly going into the half-time break, the happier of the two.
This is deserved. This is a 14 points. I've been on this floor when there's been a bigger margin that's been recovered, but 14 points is a good reflection of the hustle, the second chances they've made for themselves, and their ability to keep holding the ball at the offensive end.
Thoroughly deserved. We're going to take a quick break. Bristol lead going into half-time 48-34. We'll be back with you in a few minutes, and once we've had a breather. no light needs to come on this. No light? Okay. Welcome back to Cobblestone Centre. Kev, we've had a moment to have a breather, reflect on a... I tell you what a very fast pace and actually an enjoyable first half of WNBL Division 1 basketball.
Coach, I love hanging out here with you, but quite frankly, I'd rather be watching this and trying to talk about it. It's fast paced, it's frenetic at times, it's downright untidy, but there's never been a dull spot on this court in the last 20 minutes.
So I mean, that second quarter bit was where the gap was filled. I mean, that first half, particularly the second quarter, belonged to Bristol. Offensive rebounds seems to be an issue that Ipswich will have to look at if they're going to tighten the gap, and of course they're going to have to stop something from the bleeding from the outside. The perimeter shooting there from Bristol, impressive.
They won that second quarter 16-26, mostly on the back of some really successful perimeter shooting and recycling the offense when things didn't go the way the first time. Ipswich just seems with this game where the Flyers are quite happy to let shots loose from outside. 2 empty offences, 2 3-point responses, and you're staring at a big deficit, which now sits at 14.
A couple of Ipswich starters in foul trouble early on, which I wouldn't help. So a lot of a rotation there happened, which again, if you compare to yesterday's win against Southwark Pride, there wasn't many rotations at all. So Saruna Goods starting this half with 4 fouls, isn't starting the second half. So Hannah Gray has come in, but again, like we said, it's been foul trouble for a number of the Ipswich players from the beginning. And we get this second half underway. Bristol 48, Ipswich 34. Ipswich need to start well if they're going to make start to chip away at this Bristol lead. Nice drive, but then it really seemed to go anywhere, and then Taylor Willis seemed to kind of force the shot, but they manage it back to the corner. Rebound there from Hannah Gray, and another outside shot from Taylor Willis misses, and Bristol come up with the defensive board. Committing to this press still. Broken relatively easy there. And Hannah Gray, quick hands.
Floor's opened up.
Alright. So we started off the half for both teams with a turnover central.
This is with a couple of offensive rebounds for a change on that first possession.
Yeah, I thought that was unlucky. Really got the offensive ball, really got a body on the line there, and just couldn't quite secure the basketball.
Again, Jepson left open outside the 3-point arc.
Certainly don't want to see her get hot again like she did in the first half. It's a good way to start the half, Ipswich.
Nice broken for Ipswich in the third quarter.
Had a couple of incredibly impressive scoring performances, Batiste this year. Many of her offense, much of her offense coming from the outside of the perimeter, and a bit of a miscommunication there on the Bristol offense.
I think Zilvetti forgot her dance moves there.
Ipswich lead this one by 11. Bristol lead this one by 11 now, 48-37.
So a couple of empty chips for Bristol. Ipswich need to capitalise on it. Come back. Chaos is still ruling a little bit out there.
So that momentum that Bristol took into the second half seems to have shifted to Ipswich away to begin this. Another score here will take it to single digit.
Okay, we're having Ipswich having the second chances.
Yasin Bella and Bai. Her 4th foul. Double foul called there by the ref, I believe. I couldn't quite see what was going on. Battling
I'm
underneath
glad
the
there's no camera pointing in this direction right now, Coach, because I didn't see much there.
Regardless, Commentator Willis comes up with 2 points and the lead has gone down to single digits. 9 points now, Bristol lead. Ipswich 39, Bristol 48. 2 of the Ipswich starters today have 4 fouls. Bristol with another empty trip.
Oliver penetrating, looking for the kick.
Not really left with much.
Trying to improvise a finish there.
Yeah, did kind of cross her space there. Probably the right decision to make there. If not, it would have been a clear path to the basket there from Jepson, but she will shoot 2. Hannah Gray picking up the foul. So first, I believe, of the game. Again, 39-48. 49 points now on the board for Bristol. Jepson taking her total to 17 for the game. Leading all scorers. And making it 2 for 2 from the charity strike.
They're just getting that lead back into double digits.
50 moves there from Hannah Gray. Robo missing the layup. Hannah getting an offensive rebound. And 2 points for Ipswich. 41-50. Transition defence. A little bit slow. Looked like a double dribble there for Bristol, but they get away with that one. Possession still. Also, that one looked like a foul, and Ipswich getting away with that one. Step back there. Fox outside. Jepson a little bit strong on that one.
Bristol really happy to work the ball around in tight spaces.
It's the glass to great effect. Taylor has just found herself free in the middle of the tee. 43-50, 7-point game now. Ipswich chipping away at this double-figure Bristol lead to start the second half. We are now down to a 7-point deficit. Jepson driving into the basket. Bit of chaos there in the key. Comes out to the belly, who drains the 3. Back to 10 points. Much needed offense there from Bristol. Got a bit cold as far as that first point for the second half, I believe. Oh, ambitious pass there from Gray.
Okay. Bristol just rotating the personnel now.
And the last minute or so, it seems like chaos has resumed. Bodies flying everywhere. Bristol get their offense started for this the third quarter. 53-43, Bristol lead. Moving the ball around the perimeter. They just hit one from there a minute ago, not unable to make the second 3-point drop of this half.
So better with 13 points so far.
Getting pressure on the ball here.
Finding the way through.
Great ball as a Robo. Probably could have gone up, but he moved the ball and they find it into Peter's hands. A little bit strong.
Yeah, and Ipswich have been much more effective in recycling the offense now.
Is that 3 offensive boards in a row? Got to make one of these count though. Looked a lot of contact there, but Taylor Willis nothing wrong. Jepson ahead of the play. 20 points now, Jepson. 55-43. End-to-end stuff here. Christabel Azarobo taking it to 45-55. 10-point game here at the Commentator Centre. is opening up nicely. Gomez inside, unable to make that, and then putting her hands on Taylor Willis.
Surprisingly enough, the player had an alternative view to that ball.
That's always the way. I'm sure coaches don't agree either.
Force just patrolling Rampton, looking for options. Commentator, let's get some really close attention there from the Bristol accent.
Good play there.
Yeah, when shot clock was running down, we had to get something going to the basket.
Managed to force herself to the basket there. Up until that point, it had been a great defensive possession there from Bristol, but smart play from Ava Booth there. Missing her first free throw, looking to add to her total.
But it's just leading this quarter, scoring 11-17 currently.
15 points in the game for Ava. Make that 16. Good push up to 46 points for the game. 9-point game here at Coppleston Centre in this Division 1 WNBL matchup. Active hands there from the influence zone. And leaves a better out, and she's going to make the pass. The way she's been shooting the ball today, you don't want to give her too much room. Drains another three for Bristol Flyers.
Step across in the driving lane there. 10 picking up the foul.
A break to the action. A little bit of a mix-up there on that screen there from no one really defending the three-point line there. Forster hits her first free throw of this trip. Make it double. Sticking around this kind of 10-12 point game gap at the moment. If she's got it down to 7 a few minutes ago, those couple of threes there from
Zilbetti, and I think she'll be comfortable that she's now just taking a breather.
2 threes in a row. She's had a great game thus far. Gomez losing the ball, unable to keep handle it, puts hands everywhere, and Flo Ward gambling on the ball. They didn't quite get it. Miss, and there's a Weber out of nowhere secured the ball. Just wanted it a little bit more on that offensive side there. 3 minutes 38 left in this quarter. We are in the third quarter here on a Sunday afternoon at the Coppleston Centre. 48-58. Bristol leads this 1 by 10. Ipswich have gone on a couple of nice runs in this third quarter, but Bristol with a couple of key threes have been able to, and that looked like a foul. I think Taylor Willis did step across there, looking to try and jaw the charge. A little bit late to the spot.
I couldn't see where the feet were on that one. 15 from
Now is that
Bristol,
Taylor?
a real threat closer to the basket.
3 fouls or 4 fouls there on camera?
That will take her first foul count up to 3 now.
A lot of the Ipswich starters today have been in foul trouble. .58-59 here. Louisa Gibbons back in the game. Hannah Gray, great screen there from Ogarogo. Good roll, but Hannah Gray unable to find her there. Flo Ward bringing the ball forward now. Wallace on the outside perimeter. Did she pick up her pivot foot? Ref says no. Jepson with a great drive. She's been a threat all afternoon, and with a tough finish off the glass.
Overcoming Taylor Willis.
Forster unable to get her shot off. And Gray into the basket. Ward fouling Bristol wherever she goes to the basket there. I think they're beating the rotation there, so probably actually a smart foul to give there. Hannah Gray checking out. Serena Goods are back into the game. Hasn't played much this afternoon. Played by early foul trouble.
So she's only got 6 minutes showing against the so far this game. We've just having a lot of success with that weak side.
Missing her second. But if it's coming away with the offensive board, Liv Forster short. Not been on her game from the perimeter today on that outside shot.
Also with another rebound out this guy, incredibly well. Kids are looking for a way in front of the paint.
That's a big shot there for Taylor Willis. 51-61 here.
It's quite a scoring game for Cameron this afternoon. That just taken it 7.
First 3-pointer, she was 0 for 6 before there, so 1 from 7 from the line now. Wallace using the screen, picking up her dribble, and it looked like it was a foul from her. A tough call from that angle for the referee, but I think probably the right call. Two fouls there on Christopher.
So we're just in the seconds left in the third quarter now. It's taken 4 points away from the deficit they had at the beginning of the quarter.
Bristol still leading this by 10. They leave Ward outside from the perimeter and she drains that one. Lovely form there from the outside. Good movement there from Bristol Flyers offense from Jackson. Deflecting that ball away. Sixers have had a go, but the shooting from the perimeter for Bristol continues, and that appears to be just a great cut from Averin.
Oh, unlucky. Flyers didn't see the run there.
Missed everything there.
3 points missed.
In the last minute of the game here now, Flo Ward moving the ball at the top of the perimeter. Inside to Gomez here, and I don't quite know what went down there. All the players falling, and again, all a little bit chaotic there. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Bodies down.
Well,
yeah,
it's just only 1 point better off for 9+ minutes of basketball.
20+ seconds left in the quarter. 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and they come away with the offensive board. Oh, it's an early shot on the shot clock there from Flo Ward. She misses that. Liv Forster comes away with it. Push right in the last shot of the quarter. And takes it.
Down away.
And again, it's these fast-paced spurts kind of make it hard to keep up with here. It's an enjoyable game to watch, but Bristol holding an 11-point lead as we head into the fourth quarter. Thoughts from that quarter then, Kev? I mean, Ipswich had a couple of goes at it, but Bristol hot shooting from the outside continues.
It felt as if there was 2 halves to that quarter in terms of Ipswich exerting themselves straight after the break, reducing that deficit, halving it to 7 points, and then in the space of 2 or 3 trips, back up into double figures, and Bristol have managed to restore that double-digit advantage.
We'll take this time quickly to give a quick shout out to the Ipswich Basketball Club sponsors. Their logos are kind of littered around the Copston HQ here. Firstly, a big shout out to Turner's Hyundai, Forge Kitchen, and Jer Flooring Group. Thank you so much for your continued support for Ipswich Basketball Club. In the first season back after the global pandemic, with all our teams hitting the floor this year, it's been great to be back, and your continued support into the club is always always greatly appreciated. We really couldn't do this without you. But back to the basketball today. 53-64 is the scoreline. Bristol lead by 11 points. Bristol Flyers coming off a tight loss yesterday to Anglia Ruskin. It has not deterred their approach to this game, and they have been full of energy, moving the ball well, competitive on the offensive board and shooting very well from the perimeter. Ipswich coming off an incredibly impressive win yesterday against City of London Academy, Southwark Pride. Not quite the same performance today.
No, I thought that we might have seen a change in style, but we've had 30 minutes of pretty much identical basketball.
It's this time of the season though where it gets tough. Double headers are ahead quite a lot of this Ipswich team, so they're going to have to get used to playing back to back. And they've obviously been the home team. Bristol have had a lot of travelling over the East region, but they will want to go back to the West Country with a W. Liv Forster through the lane on the offensive board from Belen Bai, who is back in the game with her 4 fouls. Second chance opportunities come from offensive rebounds, and Liv Forster making the most of that opportunity. Unable to let the shot go, but she can convert these 2 free throws. It's a good start, making the first 2.
Actually starting the fourth quarter with their regular starting 5. Forster, who's on the line. Teasing Gibbs are challenging for that free throw. Cameron Taylor-Willis and Yasin Belenbai in the back.
On the floor for Bristol, Flo Ward, Hannah Wallace, Louisa Gibbons, Burkett, number 32, Annette Cook, through a good fouled there from Annette Cook.
Okay, so Ipswich break the ice in this fourth quarter. That deficit they've got to recover is back to single figures. And the percussion section have introduced themselves.
A little bit skewed there from the referee, but looks like it's a turnover from Ipswich. No shot able to get they're going up in this press. They need the basketball. Gibbons bringing it over the half court. A couple of turnovers from both teams there. Pressure starting to mount with the game on the line with this fourth quarter. Ipswich sticking around. 9 points down. Bristol will want to hold on to this. Very hard for this lead.
To deal with the attention, fatigues.
Nice good work there on the cross step, but unable to finish. And Hannah Wallace pushes the pace. And stopping the fast break from there, came across, ref deemed it a foul. Hannah Wallace will now shoot for 2.
Empty on the third.
Averaging 8 points a game. That was a 4th for today, 65-55, 10-point game here.
Bristol closing that lane.
That mirror image of the first quarter, a little bit stop-start.
The intensity of defence is always going to give these fouls up and disrupt the flow of the game.
It's a turnover there from the inbound. Wallace comes and gets 2 more points to her. Overall score 67-55.
Do we know somebody that won't like that?
Yes.
Instant response. No, Flyers again, they come up with the ball.
7 seconds left on the shot clock. No good. Almost turning the ball over there.
Lucky angles there. Anything from Yasin Benenbein. For a team with a losing record, Bristol have shown a lot of confidence.
I think confidence grows when you're playing this well for the game, but like you said, it looks like if this is their performance on a regular basis, the record is unfair on their.
Forces progress down the court. Blocked.
Johnson back into the game. I believe she still leads all scorers. 22 points in the game.
Another energy trip.
And they're getting good looks. Long there from Cook.
Yeah, that's the way we've got. We really need to start taking this deficit down now.
Fast footwork from Peter inside. The Forster too strong. Time out, Coach Drain.
He's picked the pocket there. You know, gained the opportunity to. For a second go at that basket. Just lost the ball under some pressure.
Yeah, I mean,
Coach Drake having to stop it now. The clock's. We're a couple of minutes, 3 minutes down now. We're running out of time to make this difference.
And you can tell the tension's starting to build. A few more mistakes from both teams there. It's actually probably the slowest pace the game has seemed since the opening tip-off. Bristol will want to. I presume they are trying to not necessarily run down the clock, but it appears with the way the game's going, it's theirs to lose. Particularly Ipswich had opportunities, and they're missing in and around the basket. What Coach Raymond, I'm sure, hopeless is makeable opportunities. Got a few offensive boards, still unable to capitalise, and that lead hasn't really.
The lead's on elastic. Every time we get it down, it just springs back to 12, 13 points.
But there's still plenty of basketball left to play.
So in terms of Ipswich scorers, Ava Batiste leading the way, supported by on 16 points, supported by Liv Forster on 12, and then Alice Fallon on 9 points from that hot streak in the second quarter.
I think Alice Fallon is checking back into the game now.
We need that perimeter threat back. In terms of the Bristol Academy Flyers, big game from Jepson on 22 points. This is Betty supporting on 16.
Nice move.
Again, I think you're right about the way that Bristol Flyers, the clock is their friend. Yeah. They can string together 16, 18 second offences and convert.
But Alice Fallon has been hot from the perimeter. So what, 4 3-pointer?
That's right.
11-point deficit still.
4 from 5 for Alison Dalton.
58-69, and Jepson draws the contact. first one count. 70 points on the board now for Bristol. Just under 6 minutes left in this game. Able to make the second one at 70-58 to Ipswich. 12-point lead for Bristol. Good cut from Taylor Willis.
Okay, great look there from Forster.
Took a little bit late on the rotation. Fouling. Taylor Willis will go to the line. Betty will
some more scoring coming back onto the floor for Bristol.
Her and Jepson alone have combined for just under 30 points. So
she's introduced herself to Ipswich. They're going to need to watch out as we go down the stretch.
Taylor Willis makes her first. Eight points now for Cameron. 9 there, 10-point game again. Still at the same deficit as it seems to have been for the last quarter and a half, but time is running out for this Ipswich team. Bristol smartly using the shot clock. Good footwork there from Gibbons, but unable to let that shot drop. Forced coming away with the defensive board and looking to push the break. 2-3 there.
That was contact. I think the Flyers are going to take a block for that. One foul called on. The Forster or Hannah Gray that was called on?
I'm not too sure. Either or. Second foul for whoever the tape puts up. You can hear Goat straight saying one stop, one score, and it's a ball game. Let's see what happens here. Unable to get the stop, and the basket counted.
We just need to be careful. We witnessed the points that those yellow shoes can bring.
Referee changed their mind on the floor.
I think that's the right call.
13-second left on the shot clock. Jepson attacking the lane. It's a lovely move. Really nice move.
There was a lot of blue waiting for her in the paint. She found a way through there.
72-60 to Bristol. With Forster missing from the outside again. 12-point game. Bristol will look to keep using the shot clock up. We have about 4 minutes left in the game. Ipswich trailing by 12 points. Jepson unable to let that one go.
Bristol are definitely happy to be a bit more patient on their offensive possessions now early in the game.
And one.
Strong Hannah Gray.
2 points scored, 62-72, and she will head to the line. Four minutes, 7 seconds left in this game.
Well, I've enjoyed the last 35 plus minutes. It's great that we're challenging for every possession, but now the Ipswich are on team fouls.
2-72, foul on Fallon. Jepson will head to the line. 23 for the day, 24. Characteristic miss there.
Okay, it's a 3v2 attack, Vincent.
Lane just open there. A little bit of miscommunication there from Bristol. Hannah Gray getting to the line, fouled.
And there's only have to be a sniff of a lane through there, and Hannah's going to find that.
10-point game, 63-73. And this is the second. Gibbons
Score on the first, dot on the second.
Great
Lots of energy. This is going to let that ball cross the half easily.
Nice handles there from Silvetti. It's a nice aggressive move, but Flo Ward unallowed, able to let that drop. Hannah Gray now pushing the tempo. Has it stripped. Nice head fake, but unable to let it go, and they turn the ball over again. I think it was a fingertip that caught there.
For those that have got the commentary cam on, we were pointing frantically.
So Ipswich seems to be given a few stops here, and then turn the ball over, another stop, turn the ball over. You can see Coach Train's frustration starting to boil over a little bit. I can understand why Ipswich is still in this game.
10 points, 2.5 minutes just over. Absolutely not dead. Not dead at all. There just seems to be a lack of rhythm. Ipswich can have two good possessions. Their possession is not going the way we want it to. The biggest run in the whole game is 8 points. And if there's one thing that we need right now, it's going to be a run to close that deficit down and make this a grandstander in a couple of minutes' time.
Got to convert these opportunities. Free throws. Getting to the ball, they've got to make their layup, so there's an opportunity.
Absolutely. A couple of missed trips there, and we go to the line, making one out of the two. That's a 3-point play into a 1-point play, and we can really do with getting those to drop. Really impressed. I'm not seeing any signs of fatigue jumping in. One of these two teams has done a lot of miles and 2 games.
So as we enter the final couple of minutes of this ball game, Ipswich 63, Bristol 73, still holding on to a double-digit lead. Ipswich have threatened. 3 minutes left on the clock, so still plenty of basketball left.
3 minutes plus some change, and
Ipswich have tempted and teased us with bringing it down to single digits and unable to capitalise on the opportunities that they have been given. And Bristol doing well defensively and competitively. So as I say, they're doing well defensively. Commentator goes away in there uncontested. So Peck comes across and
well, it's like a whiteboard classic, that one. Again, failed to capitalise from the in free play. He needs to make these line shots count.
Hard foul though. Hard foul.
Oh, again, another great opportunity. A shot from the paint.
9-point game here. 64-73. Bristol, Betty, bringing the ball up. Manages to attack the perimeter. Found outside. Ward. Jepson with a double clutch there and unable to let it drop. And Hannah Gray has just turned the ball over again here.
And again, Bristol will be happy to use this clock.
It's a tight game. This would have been a big shot, but Gibbons competing on the boards and not sure what the ref has called there.
A big rebound for Liv Force there, under pressure from Gibbons. Again, we now take that to the line.
(64-73). Alice Fallon checking out, and Saruna Goodser checking back into the game. Both teams in the penalty. So every time I foul, we will be making trips to the free throw line, and I presume that's where we're going to be finishing this game off, the intensity that this has been played at. But Ipswich chipping away at this now. 66-73. They've given themselves a chance here, Kev.
Absolutely. Well, we're into three bucket territory.
Lovely aggressive move there from Wallace. Should be heading to the line.
This is where effectiveness from the free throw lines could end up deciding this game now.
Well, it appears then. 8-point game. 66-74. 66-75. 9-point game. Bristol time out. We have.
We won't know because the countdown from 1 minute up there right
I think
now.
we've got about 2.5 minutes, I am guessing. We will confirm that as soon as we can see the scoreboard. But about 2.5 minutes left on the clock. It is a 9-point game. Both teams in team fouls. Referees calling a lot. There has been some aggressive play at the basket, though. So it's not to say that they are unjust fouls.
No,
but what
no,
I'm saying is that
they're definitely keen to let us know they're here.
absolutely. And it's going to be a lot of nerve, I think, in this last game. You know, who can hold on to the ball, who can limit their turnovers, if they get to the free throw line, who can make those shots. And still a ball game here, still a ball game.
Absolutely. 2 minutes plus change. Again, Ipswich just eking out a good start to this quarter. They're winning at 13-11 currently, but that's not enough. Every time Ipswich start to knock on the door and start to make some things happen, Bristol are resilient. They're coming back and they're slowing the, they're halting. Really doing a couple of good defensive possessions, retrieving the ball back quickly. A couple of quick scores, and this game is wide open. Okay, so it's just
2:12 left on the clock, Kev.
2:12. Okay, this is the business end then, that's for sure. Okay, Forster advancing the ball over the half. Finally Goods are free open. Turnover pass. Not going to help.
Not ideal, not ideal.
There will be no pace from Bristol now.
It's a huge shot. It's a big shot there from Flo Ward.
Yeah. It's all undone now. Quick response.
As you were.
All action stuff there from Hannah Gregg, contesting that loose ball. Ipswich have really got challenges inbounds. We need this ball back as quick as we can.
Comes the lob there. And unable to convert the play. Gibbons with her hands on the ball will send Goods to the line with the opportunity to bring this closer. They're currently at a 9-point game. 69-78 is the current score here at Coppelston Centre with 2 minutes left on the clock.
1 minute 26 left on the clock.
Okay, 70-78, 8-point game.
That's the third part that's done. It's just now need to pressure the inbounds.
7-point game. A little bit of time. Tensions building in here in Coppelston Centre. Bristol will look to use this shot clock, I'm sure. Coach Strange imploring his team to get up on the ball. And that is a big shot from Zilberry. Back to a 10-point game. Bristol have shot the ball phenomenally from the outside. Right, putting the team Bristol defence under pressure straight away, and being fouled to the basket. I mean, that's two big 3-point shots there from Bristol in the last couple of possessions.
Absolute pressure relief there.
They've just kept this gap.
And the score is shooting well from the line. But the complexion of this game would look so different if there was made buckets and the penalty shot. And we were taking 3-point plays rather than 1 and 2 points.
73-81, minute left in this game. They managed to break the press, but a turnover.
Okay. This is another opportunity to close this quickly.
There's a minute left. 8-point game. Need a quick score. And that is really not what you need. Really not what you need. And that could be game there. That could be game there. And they've hit some big shots down the stretch here. About that foul, but it has been given. And
it feels like we need an accurate look at the game clock. 27.5 seconds left.
27.5 seconds. 11-point game here, Bristol. They've we have to give them credit. Those last 3 possessions and those 3. I mean, talk about clutch threes.
That's the pattern of the game all afternoon. An Ipswich run gets met with a similar response from down deep.
It's not that Ipswich haven't had opportunities in this game, but and it looks like this game will end at the free throw line. 10 points with mere seconds left on the clock.
Gilbert had a huge influence on this game, running at 24 points off the bench.
Big 3-point shots at the end, and now making their free throws. They've come into Commentator Centre, and they've certainly earned this win. It's been a long trip down to the East region this weekend for Bristol Academy Flyers, losing a close one to Anglia Ruskin yesterday, and picking up a big win here today against Ipswich Basketball. But not enough to stop Bristol Flyers taking a well-deserved victory here at Coppleston in an incredibly enjoyable game. The first 3 quarters incredibly frantic, high scoring. The fourth quarter a bit more of a chess match, but Bristol managing to hold a double-figures lead for the majority of this game. That second quarter where they really kind of made the gap, they held on for the next one, that thoroughly deserved.
They've taken a stout bid today, and a lot of today's shooting will be on their season highlights. I think they've shot well from down deep, and they've used that to great effect. Every time Ipswich from mounting a comeback, those daggers from out did just stop that progress.
Still plenty of basketball left to be played in this WNBL season. Ipswich picking up a victory yesterday against lead leaguers Southwark Pride City of London Academy, but today going away with the loss to a very game Bristol Flyers. We've tried our best to call the action here. Whether we be asked back will be someone else's decision to make. But thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Kev, for trying your best alongside me. Well, I hope not. Ipswich splitting their weekend, their double-header. I believe we have a double-header in the coming weeks. A couple of away trips coming up. Plenty of basketball left to be played, and thank you for joining us. And we'll see you all very soon.
Next time.